The project of solar water heating has evolved over time, and it has done that with its own challenges. It has not been a smooth sailing. One of the realities is that we've got 80,000 solar water heaters that have been installed only by the South African Academy of Sub-Saharan Solar Water Heating. The experience is that communities have, in a certain way, being resistant to receiving new technologies. Like any technology that is just new and coming into the market, you've got to first find the community's understanding of what it does. There are benefits that are visible and people can see them, people talk about them, and there are challenges with the administrative systems that are required. Sometimes you go into a community that cannot read or write and you still expect them to sign forms because they are the end beneficiary users. So it has gone a long way. With all the support of everybody that is involved, government has given its blessing and its support. Private companies that are working in that industry have also given their own blessings and their support, and communities are also getting into. But what we cannot deny, or we just have to accept, is that there is a direct benefit by communities themselves. It has saved on the amount of money that is used for heating up water. I think the question of tariffs and what is being paid to who is a very technical question. Remember, this meeting was about meeting the beneficiaries. Therefore, issues of tariffs and those are things that get dealt with between the private sector and the companies that are paying. For me, all that I can tell you is that as a community member and as a beneficiary, we will need all the support that is there. As to who weighs €1, $1, it's a debate that can be held by big boardroom people that sit there and talk to each other on what they are selling to each other. But from a community perspective, we can simply say there is a long way to go for us as African people, and in particular South African people. And to be precise and honest, the project of CDMs has to an extent began to roll out a program of sustainability on the program. So the R1, R2, €1, €2 debate is one that is far fresh from my mind. Mine is that communities are here and communities are demanding the service, and communities are grateful for whatever support that has been given. Whether the tariff is $1, that affects the big pockets, and we have no role in that. From sitting in this meeting today, one would have learned that again, big business and government are at each other's throats, trying to prove each other who was wrong, who was right. But what has happened, there's an African saying that says, in any kraal where there are two bulls, it's only the grass that will suffer. Therefore, what we can necessarily say is that in all this debate and all these arguments that you guys are having, remember that it is not about the small 30 people sitting in this boardroom, but it is about the majority and the many numbers of people that benefit from this program. Sitting here are 30 or 40 people, beneficiaries are more than 80,000. Therefore, you can imagine if the only compromise comes because 30 or 40 people cannot agree, and that their disagreement seeks to divide or to disadvantage 80,000 people. So we can only seek that, find each other, find each other's discussions, find each other's sense, find each other's understanding of what euros, what tariff and what else. Because at the end of the day, those of us who receive the service do not know the argument, do not know the debate. Therefore, let us not be compromised in these discussions. And bigger than anything, as you discuss, remember that it is not about the 30 people sitting in the boardroom. It is about the child that will be denied education if that money goes to to heat water. It is about the child in Guatemala who will be denied education because their parents have become part of the project. So to stop the CDM and say there is no perfect solution in anything in society. The CDM, like for me, from a fairly perspective society, treat it like a child. When a child is about to walk, they stand, they fall, they stand, they fall. Eventually they will walk. Therefore, we seek for patience, we seek for understanding, and we seek for the greater understanding that it is not about 30 people. And in any project, there is never a perfect solution, but there is always a perfect understanding when the people who are the actual beneficiaries come and say, to us, it makes sense. Therefore, it can only be that it is fair to do it because it makes sense to us.